Hello everyone, welcome on your YouTube channel of Lalbagh Girls Inter College. This is Jyoti Singh. Class 10th, in the previous lecture we have done with the first part and the second part in the transportation of food and other substances. Now we are moving with its third and fourth part. We will see in this part how the process occurs when osmotic pressure get increased in the phloem sieve tubes. So let's see how the pressure get generated and get higher, due to which transport of food and other substances takes place. So let's learn. So children, due to increased osmotic pressure, water from the leaves also moves into the phloem by osmosis. Here you can understand the water molecule concentration is higher in the source cell and water molecule concentration is lower in sieve tube, right? Why it is get lower? Because the sucrose molecules is get increased in the sieve tube, while in the source cell sucrose molecules get lower in concentration. So you know that the water molecules moves from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Water molecule higher concentration is found in the source cell, while in tube cell is lower. So molecule moves from the source cell to the sieve tube. So this process is called osmosis. At the same time, water from the xylem vessels also moves into the phloem by osmosis. So now this water comes from xylem vessel also. Here you can see at the parallel the phloem tissue is xylem tissue are also present. So just remember in your brain, remember in your image that the sieve elements, that means the phloem tissue and the xylem tissues, both are present parallelly. One tissue is the phloem tissue, another is the xylem tissue. So at the same time, water from the xylem vessels also move into the phloem by osmosis to accommodate or to fulfill the water molecule concentration or water capacity, water scarcity, right? So to fulfill this demand of water molecules in sieve tubes, water also get accumulated from the xylem vessels to the sieve tube. The sudden diffusion of water into the phloem causes a rise in the pressure inside the phloem tissues, right? Because one part because here you can see from the source cell water molecule are also coming into the sieve tube by the process of osmosis. Second, from the xylem vessels also water molecules comes inside the sieve tube. So here is pressure is too much. So now this pressure is too much, or pressure inside the phloem is too much, causes this phloem, because of this pressure high, phloem causes a rise in the pressure. Due to this higher pressure produced in phloem tissue allowed the phloem to move materials according to the plant's need, right? So it moves according to the plant's need, where plant needs this source or where this plant needs the energy. Now in this picture you can see the photosynthesis product, and at the bottom you can see the phloem tissue. At the underground you can see the ball like structures, right? So the flow of food and other substances through phloem is bidirectional. Bi means two, that means in both upward and downward direction as per the plant's requirement. This is also very important point, children. This movement or this food transport is through the phloem tissue is a bidirectional. If I ask the difference between the xylem and the phloem tissue, you can write these transport of water and minerals through the xylem tissue is unidirectional, and the transport of food and other substances by the phloem tissue is bidirectional. Why I am saying this unidirectional and bidirectional term is Unidirectional means in only one direction. You can see the transportation or transpirational pull is applying at the top of the leaf, if you remember, in transport of the water through the xylem, and at the bottom here the root is directly contact, root hairs was directly contact with the intermolecular spaces of the soil, right? This was going upwards, right? So that was another very important. But here you can see the flow of food is bidirectional. That means the food is synthesized at the top or the leaf, but it is stored in the root, in the stem, in the other floral parts, not in a definite manner. That means it is making at the top of the leaf, but it is storage at the bottom. It is not like that, right? That is why the term is saying bidirectional. And the linings, you can see these linings, arrows showing this part, this bidirectional movement.